Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to an action-packed week here at the Upsurge Premier League, where we've got two heavyweight titans that are going to go head-to-head in an absolute bloodbath on the Summoner's Rift. But before we get into that, I'm your caster, David Seymour Rubinovich, and alongside me I've got Daniel, the Saved One Man. How are we doing today?
I am doing absolutely insane. Everyone here on the broadcast team is so incredibly excited because, like you just said, we got two titans, one of them being 100 Thieves next.
To their credit, having a third, kind of like this third team that is performing in these amateur tournaments is really developing the North American talent, and we have to kind of give kudos to the members that we have on the team.
Exactly. I think TSM tried to do this like about a year ago, and it didn't really go anywhere, right? They announced a couple of players, but 100 Thieves is the official first team to actually get into the amateur scene and really start to develop a lot of these players. And we were looking at these rosters, man. There's some good talent. There's some good talent.
Yeah, and that's also kind of to talk a little bit about the other team, Vital Point Esports. Esports. I've been screwing up the name all day, but Vital Point Esports. They've got themselves a star-studded roster as well, so it's going to be a really good game. A best of 3 here in the first week of the Upsurge Premier League in the Ocean Division. That does mean that there are 3 other divisions. The Cloud Division, the Fire Division, and the Mountain Division. But here, obviously, first week of the Upsurge Premier League, we've got 100 Thieves against Vital Point.
Yeah, and the one matchup that I really, really want to touch on is the jungle matchup, just because 700-kilogram Grandma is over on Vital Point's squad, and he's been playing kind of these unusual type junglers in solo queues, very, very high up there on the ladder, about Diamond 1, and he has been playing the Silas. He's been playing the Trundle. Of course, we've been seeing a little bit of Silas actually in Challenger. A couple of players have really been picking him up, but as well, the Trundle ended up getting a lot of buffs here in this patch. So I'm excited to see him in action, but also Ken V1. This dude is a monster on a lot of these meta champions, and I hope that he pulls out something absolutely crazy here. Of course, just the basic Elise, Lee Sin, the Rek'Sai, the Gragas, the Olaf. He's got his champion Ocean covered.
Not to mention, ladies and gentlemen, Ken V1 is a returning champion of the Upsurge Premier League. He previously won in the Fall Division under a completely different team, so now being picked up by 100 Thieves obviously got to feel pretty damn good.
Oh, yeah.
But you're absolutely right. It's going to be kind of the duo in the mid-jungle to kind of see how they perform, but your eyes are on the jungle.
Oh, yeah. There's definitely a lot of things to watch up in that jungle matchup. One thing that you were actually telling me was the mid lane matchup, just because there's just so many, or at least both of these mid laners are really, really good in their own respective fields. But we're jumping right into the champion select itself.
We're going to start things off here by 100 Thieves banning out the Yasuo, and the Olaf, like you said, coming through to kind of pinch Kenvy's pool, but we'll see if that pinch decides to get a little bit, tighter.
Yeah, I love 100 Thieves' ban over towards Nemesis King. He's the mid laner of Vital Esports, and he plays so much Yasuo. This dude has played 123 games in solo queue alone. You can only imagine what's going to be coming out here as well. Darius going to be off the table. Absolutely insane top, but we got some more bans.
Yeah, the Lucian, the Aphelios, the Mordekaiser. Usually, the Aphelios is more of like a standard ban, especially considering the current meta, but the Syndra first pick going to be flexible to the mid lane or the bot lane.
Yeah, Gods could definitely pick that up for himself if he wants to use that in the mid lane. Definitely very, very strong in her own respects. A lot of range, a lot of burst going into the mid game. So we'll see how Gods can play that, or maybe if Otto wants to play that in the bot lane. Since there is a Senna that's picked into it, probably not, but it's a huge maybe on the table.
Yeah, for sure, and that's kind of how the seasons have unfolded over the past year or so has created a lot of flexibility in the draft. And we're seeing that here now, obviously with the Senna pick, like you're saying. It's going to create an interesting scenario where 100 Thieves wants to put that, but we're going to have to see what Vital Point picks next, and it's going to be the Irelia.
Yeah, of course, Senna is just all across every single region is being played in the bot lane nonstop. It's Aphelios and Senna and MF. We have a new ADC. We'll touch on that in just a second, but Irelia, like you were saying, is going to be picked over here. Can definitely be flexed into the top or the mid lane, depending on the matchup. I feel like she kind of wants to go into Syndra just a little bit more just because of Irelia's bruiser game in the mid lane is so incredibly good versus mages.
And yeah, I mean, it can be very difficult against, Syndra's not very mobile.
Yeah.
Right? With Irelia being able to be all over the place and hop right down the lane incredibly fast.
Exactly.
But we're going to see the Braum pick up here with Senna to go into the Xayah and Rakan for 100 Thieves.
And I love the Zyrakan matchup, just because we've known them ever since release to be put in the bot lane together. Whenever they're separated, it never feels right. So finally, when they do end up coming together, usually they're both really meta. And Xayah is now in a meta where she is actually meta. She's kind of below that MF, or maybe on the same level as MF. And Rakan has to follow suit. Like you were saying, the Braum has been played with Senna throughout all of LCS as well as LEC. So we're going to be seeing that pig tier. It's going to be an awesome matchup.
Talk to me a little bit about why Darius, Vladimir, and Kennen have been kind of taken off the table. That would look like a little bit of like a top lane pinch.
Yeah.
But why don't you tell me a little bit about why you think that is there? Both teams kind of picking unorthodox top laners off the table.
Well, one thing is that I know that Vital Point is really experienced on the Darius, right? Definitely loves to play that up there. Chen is an experienced Darius player as well. Vlad is just a very safe mid laner. Just all across the board. If you want to play some sort of a safe type mid laner or even top laner, you can play Vlad and just impact these late games just exponentially. As well, the Kennen is really annoying on a lot of these flanks. Kennen, I feel like, is a very secret OP to be put into the top lane, just because I guess 100 Thieves next just love to kind of hover around with that pick.
Yeah. It actually looks like Vital Point has 2 members on their team, the mid and the top lane, that both play Vlad. So taking that off the board from 100 Thieves, and we're going to see the set.
Ooh, there we go.
The mob boss himself
For sure.
being picked up here. But the Trundle, like you said, actually taken away from Vital Point.
It's kind of weird that Trundle's now being picked over on an aggressive comp, but I feel like they need that tank in the jungle. Of course, in the top lane, you're going to have Set. Set is so incredibly good at tanking a lot of the damage and then outputting that through his W. But the only thing is that what other tank do you have? You can't get it out of Rakan, right? And tank supports are very, very prominent in a meta just like this one. So you got to substitute that tank somewhere else. It's going to be put into Kenvi's hands, and we know that he's an experienced jungler, so he's going to just work wonders on this champion.
I mean, in addition to some very tanky members in Braum and Sejuani, the Trundle works really, really well here. Stealing some of those resistances, especially the bonuses that Braum does get from kind of hopping around. But the Rumble going to be the last pick that locks things in the top lane. And how do you feel about that?
I love the last 2 picks here, actually. We kind of hovered over the Sejuani herself, but she's a still a really good jungler, and I feel like Vital Point wanted to go for more of a passive jungle matchup. Didn't want to go for any Lee Sins or Elises, just wanted to go a very tank route and just allow the rest of the team to really pop off, and I feel like Vital can start popping off in a lot of these cases, especially with this Rumble pick. You put it into the mid lane, and you just absolutely wreak havoc with the actual the ultimate, the equalizer. It's just going to do so much damage.
Now we do have to wait just a teeny little bit as we get it back, as we actually get into the game. That was the pro draft that we did see here, and kind of talk to me a little bit about both of these teams. What are their kind of keys to the game? Well,
let's touch on 100 Thieves really quickly. I love their whole entire comp. It's one of those comps where you're like, I don't know if this could have gone better. I think the only thing that I can argue is kind of the Trundle, but it's just that opinion mainly stems from not really seeing the Trundle as often, right? He just got buffed. Right, he just got, I think, more movement speed on the W, and the pillar has a little bit more of a slow, so he can catch up to his targets, whoever he's ganking, just a little bit faster. We'll see how it actually all unfolds, because we're all used to the Elises, we're all used to the Gragas's, the Rek'Sais, the Lee Sins, all of those fun champions. But the Trundle's going to be new, and if it does well here, it's going to have to be a pick that Vital looks at towards the next game. But this whole entire draft as a whole, I absolutely love it, right? It's a really, really nice team fighting comp with Rakan going in. They also have a little bit of pick with the Trundle pillar. You have the Set, I guess, his E, whatever that thing is called, wherever he brings 2 people together and ends up stunning them together. As well, you have his ultimate, which is just so much fun to watch.
Yeah, and for Vital Point, it does look like they're going to have a lot of mobility to kind of move around the map. I think their kind of goal is to try to execute a lot of skirmishes. Obviously, they do benefit from some team fights with Sejuani and Rumble, that kind of combination with Senna from the back line. But realistically, I do think that those ultimates or the synergies that they have are going to be more so used for closing off entrances and exit points and try to fight in in Dragon or Baron pits or kind of in the jungle.
Well, the one thing I always love to touch on is why certain champions are picked with each other, like you were slowly touching on there. The Senna Braum in particular is so incredibly strong because Senna ends up running Glacial Augment so she can slow her target when she auto-attacks them, and then Braum immediately, it's like a no-brainer.
Yeah.
Right, just run up to the target, either ult them or just a simple auto-attack, and you can just get so many autos off of stuns, and freezes are so incredibly annoying in a meta just like this one. Of course, the Sejuani complements that really, really well, and she also complements the Irelia and the Rumble. So this team comes together to form a really just nice, simple team fight comp.
Yeah.
And it's going to be interesting to see how Senna in particular is used inside of this comp.
Now, one of the things that I can kind of see as a weakness for Vital Point is that it's going to be very difficult to siege. While fights are going to be very easy,
Yes.
but in order to take turrets one after another,
Yeah.
if they're kind of defaulting and ARAMing in the middle, they're going to have a really tough time capitalizing on those turrets.
Right.
Whereas 100 Thieves has a lot of range and wave clear as well in order to keep Vital Point at bay.
I think they have a lot of zoning ultimates,
Yeah.
Vital Point, right? If they want to try and siege onto a tower, the one counter argument is that you can use your Rumble ultimate, right, the Equalizer, just to zone off a couple of these members. You can also have Sejuani over a couple of walls if she wants to Q ult over anything. As well, the Irelia. We always know that Irelia is super annoying with her Q resets as well as with her ultimate. It can be really, really annoying in a lot of cases just to watch how much engage this team has. And if they can work around that, that'd be really good. It's kind of why you kind of pick a lot of these tanks over on Vital.
Now, we are going to be waiting, like I said, just 3 minutes or
Three more
so.
minutes.
3 more minutes as there needs to be some sort of delay. And
Yeah.
every time that you pick and ban in League, there's going to be a 3-minute delay.
Yeah.
But I'm really excited to see what both teams kind of have to offer. Again, this is the first week of the Upsurge Premier League. This is the Ocean Division. There are going to be other teams going head-to-head on this channel. But what a start.
Oh, yeah.
What a start for the first week.
You gotta watch out for all of these major rosters because 100 Thieves Next, this is their time to really prove to a lot of the other either academy teams or even just normal LCS teams that, hey, this is the route that you have to go. You have to start training them when they're 15, 16, 17, or even if they just kind of fell out of academy, and then slowly bring them back up into what can be a really, really good roster. But I also gotta say, I love keyboards, and I think that you guys also at home love keyboards. So I got to tell you about our sponsor today, Kono Keyboards. If you're looking to take your game to the next level, it all starts with your peripherals. From keyboards to keycaps, mice, and more, our friends over at Kono have you covered. Kono works with the world's best designers, inventors, and makers to bring you some of the best gaming peripherals around. Kono has been huge supporters of us over here at Upsurge that have made generous contributions to our prize pool. So if you ever need a new keyboard or more for your setup, we cannot recommend anyone better than Kono. For more information, head on over to kono.store to check out all of the offers that they got today. That's KONO.store. Kono, discover amazing products.
Well, that may be one of the sponsors that we have. We got
course.
a lot more lined up.
Of course.
Obviously, we have to give a lot of thanks to Midwest Esports.
For
Midwest
sure.
Esports has been around for many, many years, starting as a small student group out of Wichita State University. But then, since then, Midwest Esports has grown to be a veteran organizer to tournaments and events throughout the U.S. They host tournaments for games like League of Legends, obviously we're watching right now,
For sure.
Rocket League, and as well as Overwatch. For more
Yeah.
information, you might want to check them out at MidwestEsports.com.
I love Midwest.
Midwest is the
I
best.
love
It's
Mid.
the best.
It's the best.
It's the best.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, we're jumping back into this match. Of course, we only got about a minute to go.
30 seconds. 30
For
seconds.
sure. Before we actually jump into the actual game itself. But I don't think we could have stressed enough how excited me and you are. But for you, this is kind of a switch up because colorcasters usually don't ask their play-by-play. What matchup are you excited to watch here?
Well, to be quite honest, it's going to be the bot lane. I don't
yeah?
know why. For
Why is
100
that?
Thieves, Otto, and Pumi, they recently won the, I believe it was the Tyler 1 championship. So, I mean, I gotta respect,
Of course.
first of all, the hustle of Tyler 1 to put on a championship. But for two members of 100 Thieves Next that actually won that tournament. So it's going to be exciting to see how the Xayah-Rakan duo, especially considering you're saying that, you know, the Senna Braum is very difficult to face.
Yes.
How do the Tyler 1 championship bot lane, how do they stack up against Vital Point?
From what I know, Xayah Rakan has a lot of re-engage, right? If they ever get engaged on, it's going to be really up to the jungler to be
Yes.
there at the correct time in order to really really help him out. And I feel like Trundle is kind of that perfect champion to do that. Of course, he's got a lot of mobility in the jungle itself. He can easily get from wherever he is into the bot lane if he really wants to. Of course, he doesn't have any teleportation spells or anything like that. But it's all up to these good junglers. It's why you get a good jungler. Right place, right time.
Yeah, and Ken V1 is definitely that superstar for 100 Thieves here. Now we're just moments away from the game. Again, want to thank everybody for coming out, for watching. We've got an action-packed match for you. These two teams are really we can't stress it enough. We can't put them on any bigger of a pedestal.
For sure.
But this first week for you is gonna be an absolute blast.
Yeah.
And the one thing that you should really look out for is how these two teams interact with one another. You know, this first game might be an absolute decimation.
Yeah.
What happens after is the team kind of goes back. They rethink what strategies can we incorporate and how can we break down the enemy team.
What's going to be a really massive story to tell, if we can tell this, is if Vital can actually win a match.
Yeah.
Because we were talking before this, and we're like, all right, a bunch of challengers versus a bunch of diamonds. Who's going to win?
Yeah.
Right? And you kind of say, well, obviously. But Vital, they've got a little bit of an opportunity. We know their win conditions, and we've been talking about this for this break, is that they have a really, really nice team fight comp. And if they can use it effectively, the dream's
Not
theirs.
to mention the underdog story has been around for years. If we even think about my favorite underdog story, Albus Nox Luna at the World Championship, running straight through to the World's playoff bracket.
Yeah.
I don't remember who else they knocked out, but I think G2 was one of the teams that they were like praising.
Yeah.
But again, an underdog story is one that you should all love to see, and this is going to be the place to do it. Vital Point Esports up against 100 Thieves. As we load on to the Summoner's Rift, you can see that 100 Thieves on the blue side and Vital Point Esports on the red side.
And let's introduce these teams, Simo, as over on the blue side, you have 100 Thieves next. Tenacity in the top lane, Kenvi in the jungle, Copy is going to be playing in the mid lane, and Otto and Pumi on support.
Now we have in the Vital Point Esports Giant Axe on Rumble in the top lane, 700 kilogram grandma. It's going to be tough to say on Sejuani in the jungle. Nemesis King on Aurelia in the mid lane, Pufu, and I'm going to struggle to pronounce that. Wang. We're just going to call him Wang.
That's it.
Wang in the bot lane on Bro.
Exactly. You can call him 700.
700. That's 700. Not bad.
You know,
100 Thieves versus 700 Thieves. Who's going to take the cake, you know?
Yeah, exactly. I wanted to get out the name once just to get the all the laughter out, but yeah, it could get kind of a long name to say.
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun commentating the Wang. You know, it's gonna be all good. It's gonna be all good
for sure. Skin.
Yeah, wow. What is that? That's
the new one.
The new one.
Dragon
yes.
Slayer.
Dragon Slayer Trundle.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, it looks like it's gonna be not a mirrored start. Well, actually, it will be a mirrored start. Red buffs for both sides. But a leashless red is going to leave, Vital Point Esports kind of wondering and getting a couple of Braum stacks. They're kind of zoning them off the wave here. But they're going to let him in kind of carefully. But, just a little bit of a trade. They engage here. Damage onto Pufu. And Otto doing probably 50% HP onto Senna. Hot start.
It's so much damage that he ended up getting out there. Otto onto Pufu. I'm wondering if he's going to actually have to use a health pot at any time soon, because these guys have already set up. 100 Thieves Nexus bot lane have already set up to zone off the enemy. That's how forceful that this
Not
bot
to
lane
be confused with phosphorus.
It's phosphorus.
Phosphorus.
That's a word I'm making.
Yeah. So far, top lane looks like a little bit of a standard matchup, just kind of going back and forth. I've never seen that Rumble skin before. That looks amazing.
Cool.
That looks cool.
Yep.
But we do see kind of just a gentleman's agreement in the top lane.
Yeah. Another thing I want to touch on is in the jungle matchup, it was cool because Sejuani actually needed a leash, so they kind of know exactly where she ended up starting.
Yeah.
However, Trundle took the red buff completely solo and ended up rotating into his blue side. So now, who knows exactly where Trundle is? Did he end up starting in that top side, or did he start in the bot side?
Rump going to be taken here for Sejuani, but just kind of pulling it back. She's thinking about potentially 700 is maybe going to roam down to the ball lane, but maybe not. It just kind of depends on what she decides to do after this Gromp. But so far, Trundle will be making his way into the Raptors there. But the ward is actually going to spot him out, which now they know. Before they didn't. Now they know exactly where he is. and that's going to be really good for Vital.
Yeah, it gives the opportunity for Sejuani to maybe roam, maybe counter jungle, but she's looking towards this mid lane. The only problem is Nemesis King, very low HP, so she's just going to back off. Of course, they also know where Sejuani is too, because she ended up passing over a ward there in the river, so you know exactly where the Sejuani is. Of course, it's so incredibly good to deny Krugs, but in the top lane, a dive.
Ooh, Kenvy's looking for the hit. That's going to be the oh my god, the pillar right in the most perfect spot. And although Set tanks the damage, the kill goes over straight to Trundle.
And what is Sejuani doing during that whole duration? She's taking bot lane Crab to maybe set up for something just a little bit more. What I was going to touch on is that Krugs is worth so much gold with these new jungle changes, so that you do have to take the whole entire camp in order to get the maximum amount of XP here. In the bot lane, though, Auto can get slowed.
Ooh, 700 kilogram. That's going to be the knock-up. Oh, the flash not going to connect with the last Braum Auto. The root as well, but the knock-up not going to be enough from Rakan, and 700s on the retreat. Wang tries to use his Q to do a little bit of damage, and Senna not able to capitalize. And so far, no kills taken for either side, but a great disengage from 100 Thieves.
It's getting so feisty down here in the bot lane. You get to see how Rakan matches up against the Braum. You can actually go and W Braum even though he has his shield up to really add a lot of disruption to Braum's mobility, so that when his shield finally goes down, you can output a whole lot of damage. You saw there, the 3v2, and it's not only 4 minutes. They ended up surviving that game, but in the mid lane, really nice engage.
Nemesis King with the stun. Looks like it's going to be a deep engage. Copy has the flash. He has the cleanse. The flash actually going to connect. Now Copy trying to use a couple of the spheres to do a little damage, but Nemesis King going to take that for free.
Yeah, we were talking about Nemesis King, and he's definitely a player to watch. Of course, I was talking about the mid lane matchup in particular. Really nice dragon spawn. Going to be coming down there in the bot lane. It's going to be that mountain, but still. We were talking about Nemesis King and how exactly he can impact this map, and you're already starting to see the resets come through. Both junglers going to be on the flanks here. Who's going to go in first?
Yeah, it looks like it's kind of a game of chicken. Who's going to go first? They don't know that each of them are there. Sejuani's going to be the first one, but backs away immediately. And now Trundle pinging question marks on the Dragon. And it looks like they might try to take this as early 5 minutes.
Yeah, they know they have priority in the mid lane as well as in the bot lane. They've had that for the past couple of minutes, so Kenby going to use this to his advantage. And definitely going to be getting that one in the bot lane, though. Nice little engage. I'm going to come out.
Auto, Fumi have been doing God's work down here in the bot lane, pushing non-stop. No one is there. Sejuani did try to gank through, but it's not going to be kind of enough. There needs to be more pressure that's applied, and Kenby here taking Dragon for free. Rakan kind of pushing through to get some of that vision as deep as he can.
And it's very simple games coming out of Ken V1. It's not even anything too difficult. He ended up going top lane, got a really nice early kill for himself, and he ended up using that to get a Bomby Cinder as well as another little jungle item in order to get just a little bit more sustain on the Dragon itself. And when the opportunity was correct, ended up taking that one for his team. So of course, Mountain gives just a little bit more stats, a little bit more health towards your health bar. Next one, it's going to obviously be the Infernal in the top left. We see that one. So we know that Mountain and Infernal off the table for the soul can either be the wind or the ocean.
So considering now we're 6 minutes into the game, there's about a 1K gold lead going over to 100 Thieves.
Yep.
You're Vital Point Esports.
Yeah.
What are some things that you need to start thinking about as this early game is not unraveling in your favor?
You gotta look at Nemesis. I know I was saying this earlier, but look at the lane matchup that he has compared to the rest of his players. Of course, he's going even in CS with Copy. That was a major one. He almost ended up 1v1ing him. Copy still has his flash down. So if, realistically, if 700 wants to get level 6 as fast as possible, he's been wasting just a little bit of time, but if he wants to get level 6 as fast as possible, he's got to really start to get going, because he's got to start ganking a lot of these priority lanes. I don't want to say that it's only on the jungler, but in this early game, it really is, right? Rumble doesn't scale until the mid game. Same thing with Senna.
So really, it's always the jungler. It's always the jungler's fault.
It's always the
jungler's fault.
It's always the jungler's fault. I didn't want to say it because I'm a jungle main myself, but I had to admit it at some point.
Yeah. Crab going to be going over to 100 Thieves. 700 kilogram Grandma's making her way through. Or making his way through, rather. Difficult to say when it's a Grandma playing behind the computer.
Yep.
Blue buff going to be spawning here. But the ping's going out from 100 Thieves. Now Rakan making his way down under.
Just tracking her beautifully as well. Tracking the Sejuani, right? Of course, it's a very down point here in this match, but Trundle, he knows exactly what he needs to be doing here, at least in the jungle. Just keep resetting off of these camps and maybe just get a lot of priority in these certain lanes. And he already has just default priority in the mid lane. Might want to go over there, but he's looking over at this Herald. Of course, it's up.
And, you know, you've been talking about Nemesis. Nemesis. There's so much vision in this river.
Oh, yeah.
That 700 can't even get through the door.
Yeah.
He can't even get to the door.
Yeah.
The steps are blocked.
Exactly.
He can't even make his way up. Like, it's just insane that there's so much vision coming up from 100 Thieves, and you have to respect this vision game. As the engage comes out, that's going to be the double knock-up. 2 members up. Rakan decides to disengage. The ultimate comes out from Irelia. Huge ultimate coming out from Senna. Do they have enough damage? Yes, they do. The double kill almost comes through, and Sejuani's looking for that last auto, but she dies to the turret, and the 1v1 trade goes to 100 Thieves.
1 for 1, and as well, Trundle is on the flanks. He wants to be coming in. You see him here engaging onto the Braum. What exactly can he do?
Ooh, Braum's going to be on the retreat. Wang coming out. That's going to be the knock-up. It barely tails off to the Syndra, and Senna here as well, arriving to the party a little late. Hope you brought some snacks and some chips, but we're going to take a quick look at the replay to break that down.
It was such a nice engage coming through here. You saw the re-engage. The Irelia ultimate is what I was talking about as well. Even though Sejuani is not level 6, she just kind of allowed her support. And this is the nerfs just coming through. You just continuously start walking into the tower just to hope to get something. And all you really get is just a little love tap onto the tower.
Ooh, in that time that we were away, the Rift Herald was taken, but not able to capitalize on that mid lane turret. Fortunately for 100 Thieves, it is low enough to kind of start making some moves.
It did get a couple of plates, right? And that's a lot of gold going into Syndra's pocket. You can already see herself here slowly building up the Zhonya's. Of course, Copy knows his lane matchup is very, very interesting, to say the least. So he's got to build as much defense as possible.
Sejuani waiting in the wings for yet another gank, as we can see in the mid lane there. Pings coming out from Dragon. Pings all over the map. They're looking to try to triangulate their position onto that Dragon, as Inferno will spawn in the next 30 seconds. The Scuttle here going to be taken with the help of Wang. Now Trundle. Now it looks like Vital wants to contest this as best as they can.
Yeah, you were saying that they of course have a lot of vision, and they also have a lot of priority on this bot side. However, you see Grandma in this bush here. It's stunned up, but it's fine. But still, the huge priority is going to be on Vital.
Ooh, the turnaround from Sejuani. That's going to be the flash with the ult. The Dragon has spawned, as you can see on the side of your screens. But who's going to be the one that takes the damage? It's going to be Nemesis King, as they try to capitalize here with Rumble coming in hot from the side. But the equalizer not going to equalize anything, as 100 Thieves gets away scot-free.
They end up getting a really nice pick onto the priority target. The one who's got the kills is just so incredibly useful, and now they can start to rotate towards this bot side. Do they want to take it because there is the Scuttler? Yeah, they do. Can be saying, I don't really care.
Yeah, they're still going to try to contest this. So they're looking for it, but one thing that we did notice during that last fight is that actually I think Rumble did die, but we're going to take a quick look at the replay of that last fight. Nemesis King getting absolutely permanently CC'd, knocked up, stunned, rooted, you name it, he had it. But that quick replay shows us just kind of how things unraveled. But one thing that I noticed about the last fight is that Rumble died to Set in the top lane, which didn't allow any type of roam down to the middle or anything, and I'm sure Rumble would have made his way.
Exactly, and that's exactly what Rumble was really looking for, was some sort of a rotation. Of course, he ended up coming with the equalizer, but oh my goodness. Set is reaching that point, ladies and gentlemen. He's definitely the boss here, as he's doing so much damage. However, you do see Sejuani on the flanks. Cheeky little bull rider here.
Really just trying to provide him some support. 2v1 going to be obviously, even Set's just spamming his emote, doing a couple of sit-ups, showing off his skill, but really just providing a little support. Meanwhile, in the bot lane, 100 Thieves taking a free bot lane turret, and Senna and Braum absolutely zoned out.
The one thing we got to watch out for from Kenvi is that if Sejuani literally does anything, he's doing something across the map, and you can see the 2v1 going through in the top lane.
Yeah, they're going to have to. The equalizer comes out. Set still going in. He does a little bit of damage onto Rumble in the mid lane. We do see that Nemesis was able to take Syndra in the process, and Set, was able to walk away from that one, but Copy is not.
Yeah, he also ends up getting himself a Fetish Codex, slowly building towards the actual Zhonya's itself, but definitely not a fun scenario to be in when you're getting kind of camped like that, but that's exactly what Sejuani needs to do in order or at least to get her team back into this match, is start to focus one lane and really get the scaling scaled.
The scaling scale. Sally sells seashells by the seashore.
Yeah.
We are entering into kind of the 13-minute mark. That's nothing special, but I just want to point out how long the game's been going on. And you do have to note that 100 Thieves is really starting to extend their lead.
Yeah.
And I'm starting to wonder, what can Vital do? Now, at this point, you've been saying that there needs to be a little bit more roams. There needs to be a little bit more pressure. But I think we're kind of past that point where now Set and Syndrome can roam around the map a little bit more freely. Considering bot lane turret's gone, you're going to see bot lane funnel into the mid. They're going to rotate. It's going to be a bad time. What can Vital do?
You already saw Senna do a little bit there in the mid lane, but in the top lane, Canvy going for the dive.
Oh my god, it's not even fair at this point. Senna with the all try to save her fallen comrade, but unfortunately, everyone's got to die someday, so Rumble takes that price. And top lane turret, free too. What can Vital do?
I have no idea, man, but for right now, you're looking at this Rumble up here in the top lane. He's got the Abyssal Mask for himself, of course. 0 and 3 on himself. The set is scaling to that point. So we got to now look at towards the bot lane. Rumble, of course, is still going to become Rumble with his equalizer once he ends up getting the 2 items. But you got to get Senna really rolling. And, of course, Senna is just kind of a utility ADC. She's used in team fights just to win a little bit more, in the famous words of Double Lift. But, yeah, in this match, you just got to get her rolling in some sort of way.
One of the things that I noticed that really snowballed this game was the vision game from Thieves. It's been insane. Every single member on the team currently has a vision ward. And on the opposite team, it's about similar, but we're going to see a little bit of a fight break out here in the mid lane. The vision ward going to allow them to create a fog of war. Braum going to be rotating around, but the Rift Herald going to be taken again here for the second time as Trundle picks that one up. But again, Vital Point missed the drop.
Just constantly. Whenever something happens, 100 Thieves next is there to respond to it. Right? You see the rest of Vital Point, let's just group up in the mid lane. Let's try and look for a pick. Nope, we're already on the Herald. Right? Dragon's going to be spawning in a minute, and you can already see the priority members clearing out the top sides. Kennedy's clearing out his top side jungle so that once Dragon is over, he can instantly go back to base and then go top lane so that his camps can respawn. And there's just so much pressure being placed all across this map. It's so great.
One of the things that I see time and time again when there's a little bit of a one-sided match, we're not really at that stage yet. There's still an opportunity for Vital to turn things around.
Of course.
But it's in a position where I think it's very difficult to find that momentum. And one of the things that I hope for is for teams to try riskier things. If you already feel like you're kind of nearing the end of losing, why not try something risky and kind of shock 100 Thieves? Because right now, I think Vital's playing standard. They're playing defensive, they're playing reactionary, and that's making 100 Thieves create opportunities like this where Rakan can just walk in, waltz in, and get away scot-free.
Yeah, there's nothing that he could have done there, unfortunately, but you see 100 Thieves, they want to just try and respond to this dragon spawning. Of course, a really nice little cinematic that we got. Thanks, producer. But yeah, they're just going to 100 Thieves next are now going to, they ended up shoving up that mid lane so that someone has to respond over to it. It's going to be the Rumble. But now they've got full priority on it. They didn't even need to be a minute early. All they needed to be was, hey, let's just go mid lane, shove that out, and maybe we can go into the dragon.
Ooh, but Vital isn't going to let this one get away scot-free. They're looking for an opportunity, but Kennedy's taking so much damage from the Dragon. This is going to create the opportunity for Vital to try to start to chip away at it. But the back line, you can see Set, he's cooking up. Huge combo. The equalizer comes out, but it's not enough. Everyone's dropping like flies. That's going to be Pofu. There's the Sejuani. Nemesis is coming on through. And 100 Thieves absolutely dominates in the Dragon Pit.
They went absolutely insane. And not to mention the ace going to be coming through here at 17 minutes to add on to that. Oh my goodness. Tenacity with the flank. How exactly do you play Set? That's exactly how you play Set. You flank and then you cause an ace. I want to watch a replay of that super, super badly, and I know you do too. But watch the Set. He ended up getting that 3-man ultimate, and the equalizer just could not do anything.
Tried to zone off the rest of the team, but at that point, Trundle and Set, you could see that they're literally on fire. Literally. They're walking firestorms, decimating the enemy team, and Xayah just had a field day, picking off members one at a time.
Yep, going to be shoving up this top lane, of course, but you got to respond if you're Vital. And you can see the rest of this squad maybe looking for their redemption onto this Zyra.
They're looking for it, and at this point, you have to do something to stop the bleeding, because right now, Band-Aid's not enough, but this looks like a cast as they're starting to go down to the bot lane. Pumi is going to get knocked out, but there he goes. He's out of there, and Hughes, they've got so much time to delay, and Tenacity's coming in hot like a baked potato, but it's not enough as Vital Point's starting to clean things up. Pumi's going to fall. Tenacity's the last one alive. Brahms are going to be on the run. Kofu's looking. He's taking the tail end of Tenacity's beatings. The slowdown comes out, but the pullback, and at least they get away with the kill for themselves.
Set does so much damage. What is this? He's insane. Of course, we've been seeing him in solo queues so much, but this dude came out of nowhere. You need a set. You need a body slam. I got you. Don't worry, boys. He comes in from one of the sides, from the right side. I want to watch, again, another replay of that just to see this set and how much damage he was able to do here in this fight. Of course, the initial engage looked really, really good, but the recon to just stall out the engage itself was so nice. The recall from the feathers, of course, wasn't able to catch more than 2 people. It was the 2 priority targets for Tenacity to finally get in and start doing the damage, but finally ends up coming in and grabs 2 kills.
Yeah, and I actually think that they might have been able to turn it around, but the Syndra coming in, she was coming in, she literally ran from Fountain all the way to that fight.
Of course.
But again, set 5-0-3, absolutely decimating right now. He's got a 50 CS gold lead over the Rumble, but again, that's been spilled over by consistent play and absolute domination. Even the solo kill in the top lane early on. And now 100 Thieves is just running away with this game. The Baron setup's going to start in about 10 or so seconds.
Yep.
As much vision as Vital can try to get, it's not going to be enough. As you can see, they've already choked out this river.
Yeah, there's a bunch of wards going to be going down, of course, at least in the pit. He's got one little pink ward. That's all you really need for a Baron pit. Just one little lone pink ward. He's like, I got it, guys.
Yeah, no need for standing wards when you have actual ones, you know? Exactly. Drop them down, use them. Your friendly support will thank you. But it looks like they're going to be pushing in that bottom wave, make sure that Rumble has to kind of answer. But there is a TP discrepancy, but at this point, it doesn't even matter. It's a 10K gold lead. A TP discrepancy isn't going to save the game. Right now, you need to start thinking about the draft for the next game. What are you going to do differently? Because at this point, Set's running away.
Yeah, it's the mentality of Vital Point that's going to allow them to really come back. At least, I don't want to be that guy, but you're going to see another engage coming out here.
They're going to look to try to pinch out the Rumble here. Syndra's off to the side, but Brahm's going to be there to try to dissuade her from moving any more forward. But here comes the party. Rakan with the quickness. He's looking for the priority target. That's going to be Senna. And Set's there to party. Punches her in the face a couple of times. And she's knocked out down for the count. And now Vital Point's on the retreat. Brahm's trying to get whatever inches he can away from this team. But here comes Set. He's going to sandwich him until he just runs the other way. He's done with it. And they still run on through. Irelia here in trouble, gets knocked up, stunned up, and unfortunately dead to her grave. And now Rumble here on the retreat, trying to make it away as best as he can. But the clean ace, wow.
Set didn't even need to use his ultimate there, but it's just so satisfying because in comms they're like, watch out, watch out, watch out, and then
watch out, watch out. Randy Orton comes out of nowhere and just dunks on him. You know?
Exactly. Definitely a huge display coming out of 100 Thieves next for their very first game here in the Upsurge League. But of course, that top inhib timer's going to be starting over in the bottom right. If you guys see that, definitely really cool little addition.
Papa Smithy right now is literally jumping for joy.
Oh, yeah, he's got a smile.
They executed the mid-game. Yes!
Woo! Exactly. Not only the mid-game, but also the early game. Just the amount of work that Trundle was putting in was awesome. Even though Copy died a couple of times, it's nothing to, you got to brush that off your shoulder. You got to keep your head held high. Also, kind of a cool little strat coming out from him. He's got a stopwatch as well as his Anios.
Wow. He's got 2 objects to tell time. He's never going to be late to a Baron ever again. He's going to always be on time. But it does look like they're just clearing up the wards anyways. And still, with the dragon spawning as well, it's going to be kind of still Baron is the main target here, but that's still whatever team wins this fight is going to be able to double over to that as well, unless they just want to end the game. But the Baron has started 17-4, 22 minutes in. Vital. Will they answer the call? Braum and Irelia are looking forward here. The quickness going to start. Double man knock-up. Copy takes out the jungler. That's a big piece of the pie, but a couple more slices are coming out as 100 Thieves is just decimating the enemy team. Tenacity takes out 2, and now that's going to be the last couple of members. In fact, the last member knocked up, stunned up, aced, and that's going to be the end of the game.
I had so much hope. 700, that was his chance to shine, and he gets blown up. I've never seen a Sejuani get more blown up in my life. 22-4, 100 Thieves next win their very first Upsurge match by way more than a 10K gold lead. That was absolutely insane. A huge display of talent coming through from this roster.
And now they're just trying to get a couple more cherry pick kills here. The Nexus is about to fall. A couple of members, they're just staying in their base. They're trying to, the shutdown comes out. It's not going to be enough though, as the Nexus does blow. 100 Thieves next. Now, again, we have to be happy that 100 Thieves next is able to kind of pull out this victory.
Oh, of course.
But this is a best of 3, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
It's a best of 3. There's still 2 more games potentially for Vital Point to turn things around. Maybe it's the draft. Maybe it's the rotation. Maybe it's the comms. I don't know what it is, but they have time.
Yeah, they've got so much time to go back and just talk what strategy they need to pull out. Vital Esports have to go back to the drawing board. Remove the set. I've got to just say it right now. Set was just an absolute monster up there in that top lane. Yeah, I don't know. There's just set baby.
Set baby. Do you want to watch a replay of one of the let's have a look.
I love how you said that.
Yeah.
Let's watch an accumulative replay.
This is an absolute beautiful display of talent. This kind of top lane gank is really one of the things that started to snowball Kenby. But to be honest, he really didn't do much but farm. We can see here that this mid fight as well. And 100 Thieves is just always there, the right place at the right time. But even when Vital tried to get opportunities such as this one, they still fell flat on their face. And they're going to need to rethink kind of how they approach the game, because you shouldn't be dying to turn.
You gotta watch out and really ask yourself, what exactly does a fight like that do? But before I touch on that, oh my goodness, this was definitely the fight where we were like, this game's over.
Yeah, Set didn't even TP. He walked around. He walked around. You know what helps? You know what stops that?
Cardio.
Vision. Vision. Have a look where he's coming from.
Exactly.
Clean up on aisle 4, please. Jesus.
And even in the top lane, clean up in the alcove.
Yeah.
Ended up seeing just an absolute...
The janitor's been busy last game. You know,
he's going crazy.
Yeah, but so far, again, Tenacity needs to be shut down, and maybe that's a little bit of a camp in the top lane. He really didn't do anything special to begin with. He just kind of played his lane, got the solo kill, and after that, he started to run away with it.
That game was an absolute blowout, ladies and gentlemen, and that was so much fun to watch. But don't go anywhere. I have to send us to a break because Game 2 is getting prepped as we speak. But again, don't go anywhere. 100 Thieves next versus Vital Esports. We'll be back in just a little bit.
Welcome back.
ladies. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Upsurge Premier League. 100 Thieves next versus Vital Point Esports. Of course, my name, Daniel the Sage One Minute. Joining me is Simo. How you doing, man?
I'm doing phenomenal. The last game was an absolute beauty to watch. Vital Point, however, needs to re-strategize and start to think about what they're going to do for this game.
Yeah, the number one champion that we all have in our minds is Set because he was an absolute boss in the last game. I know so many casters have made that joke before, but he just dominated the whole entire last game.
Yeah, you know, if I was the Riot Balance team, I'd be watching this VOD with critical analysis, you know. But we're going to hop right in to the draft here as we do see that the sides have switched. Vital Point going to be here with first pick, and Yasuo at least already taken off the table.
Yeah, Yasuo is just a kind of a clear take that off the table. But you also got the Elise as well as the Zoe coming through. Zoe, a more kind of weird little band that we definitely have not seen. The Silas as well. I was talking about that. There you go. Silas is definitely is a top-tier jungler. Right now, it's secret OP.
I feel like it's every commentator's wet dream to like predict a
to
predict a ban or something. Yep. But the Vlad actually going to be getting through here for Vital.
Yep.
2 members, flexible in the top or the mid lane. We'll see how they adapt in draft.
Well, Vladimir is safe, right? You can first pick it just because he's so safe. And usually you want to pick Senna if that is your kind of preference. Senna's a really, really good first pick. But if not, hey, look towards the solo lanes, and Vladimir is definitely one of those that can burst out a team towards the mid to late game. The only problem that I have, and the big question that I have, is can Vital Point get to that point in the game, because they weren't able to in the last game.
Yeah, and that's kind of incredibly key, because you're going to see that 100 Thieves, they've already picked the Syndra, which works so well in the early to mid game, was able to play safe and then start to add to, well, obviously Set was the shining star, but Syndra still was able to add so much to those team fights,
of course.
And Zaya picked up here as well.
Yeah, 2 very key priority picks for 100 Thieves, since we did know that they loved the Rakan. Haven't locked it in yet! I was thinking about that. I was thinking, are they going to be switching last second? And they definitely are. If you cannot get Rakan, what's the purpose of picking Zaya early on? So, definitely.
Wow.
100 Thieves.
That rhymed. Wow, that was solid. Let's go. Let's go.
But yeah, 100 Thieves is going to be picking up the Aphelios here, and we get to see that here for the first time in Upsurge. Definitely a really, really good pick coming through, and even though he ended up getting nerfed just a little bit, he's still very, very strong.
His fortune here, you talked about it a little bit, the pregame to the first match, a really highly contested ADC, and to make it up against Aphelios, how does that kind of stack up in that bot lane matchup?
MF is very passive. She's very, very passive. What I thought when MF became meta is, oh, the lethality build is so great because you have your Q that can shoot off the backline minions. However, no, she builds crit. So, yeah, that point's completely swept off the table. But, yeah, MF definitely very strong towards the mid to late game. Once again, you got to play her towards that point because her early game is okay. It's not the best.
We're going to have to see the Gragas coming out for Vital, a little bit of a switch up in the jungle. I feel like that's going to feel a lot better up against the Sejuani. I mean, instead of the Sejuani. Yeah. But Lee Sin's always been kind of the guy to have Gragas' number.
Ken V has been spamming Lee Sin to get to challenge. That means he's good at Lee Sin. A good Lee Sin player versus a great Lee Sin player is such a difference, and we're going to be popping off. I'm excited to see it. But it's not a boring matchup to watch, right? It's not a Sejuani versus a Trundle. It's not 2 tanks, right? It's Gragas that loves to build full AP versus a guy that loves to burst down your enemy. So we get to watch that jungle matchup come through here.
We are seeing the support kind of champion pool now being pinched. The Nautilus and Leona off the table. Nautilus, my actual main support that I play in the ball lane. Ornn taking off here as well. And now we'll potentially see a secondary support pinched off here, but that may be tough because Vital might not have that much to kind of pull from.
Yeah, because 100 Thieves has to pick. They have the priority pick here, right? Whatever support that they want to pick, if it is a support, they can definitely counter that area. It's going to be the Set, though. Of course, we were talking about how the Set has to be taken off at the table, but it's going to be Thresh for Pumi. This is going to be interesting.
Yeah, it's going to be difficult to kind of pick into that, especially considering you're saying the MF plays incredibly passive. Thresh is going to want to be all up in your business the entire time, and to combo it off with a Lee Sin roaming around, waiting to hop in at the drop of a hat is going to be detrimental to the Vital Point bot lane. They're going to have they're going to struggle. It's going to be a struggle. But the Rakan going to be able to disengage and provide some interesting opportunities to get out of it.
Yeah, it's definitely an interesting pick coming through here. I would have loved to see the Braum. I think Braum would have been absolutely beautiful. I think the only thing that Braum struggles with is if Thresh engages, what does Braum do? He holds up his shield, and he has his ultimate available, and that can offer really nice re-engage, and that would have been awesome. However, if Vital Points support wants to pull out something crazy, they're definitely going to do it, as Kled is going to be going right towards that top lane. They got to pull out all the little pocket picks here in the Upsurge Premier League.
And considering that Vital Point Esports top lane, a Darius main, it doesn't shock me that he also plays Kled.
Yeah.
You know, being able to just walk up and start to get heavy and kind of have a little bit of a fisticuff battle in the top lane.
Me?
But the Fiora coming out for the top lane, tenacity, showing us up on the set, now going to be showing us up on the Fiora.
To remind all of you guys, way back on the Worlds patch, Fiora got buffed where she can actually Q towers. That's a little bit of knowledge that I got from that. But Fiora definitely very strong versus a lot of the tank matchups in the top lane. And since you have to chunk down Kled to the point where you have to get him off of his little Scarl, it's going to be very useful.
Wow. These two teams, it's a complete 180 from last game.
Oh,
yes,
yeah.
We're seeing some picks that we've seen before. The Rakan, unfortunately, on the complete other side. The Syndra staying on the same side, but a completely different roster of champions.
Oh, yeah. You see these two rosters here, and it's aggression on both sides, right? There's no real... I don't want to say that there's no defense, but you have the Gragas and the Vlad, and I think those two are the only ones that are like, it's a little bit defensive.
They get a pass.
Exactly.
They get a little pass.
Because they have an MF and a Kled on their squad. So, of course, you can leave Vladimir in the mid lane, I'm guessing it's going to be looking like, and just farm. Just farm, just allow him to do Vladimir things, scale up, suck a lot of blood, whatever he does. But it's going to be the job of Gragas to start roaming into these side lanes, right? You got to get your Kled fed.
Now, you did talk a little bit about, in the pregame, the jungle matchup.
Yep.
Is it still the story that you're going with, or is there something completely different that you want to talk about?
Mid-sentence, I answered that. Yes.
You're like, yes.
I wanted to interrupt you, but no, I don't want to. I'm not too eager. But, yeah, definitely. You see Kenvi, and you saw his play in the last match. The one thing that always stuns me about Challenger junglers is what are they doing when the enemy jungler is ganking or just taking a useless crab? They're always doing something.
Not useless, by the way. Not a useless crab, by the way.
No. I mean, like at the 15-minute mark when nothing is up.
Yeah.
You know, Kenvi is always across the map doing something, and he's going to be doing that here in this match. The only thing for Vital Points jungler, I wish I knew his name, but I don't. Is that the Gragas has to be getting around
700 kilogram grandma.
Right. How could I forget that name?
700 kilogram grandma.
I'm the worst caster ever.
Yeah.
But Gragas is going to be getting around into a lot of these lanes, and he's going to be doing his work, and he has to do this effectively and not get behind like he was there in the last game.
Wow. I'm excited for this match just as I was excited for the last match.
Of course.
But we obviously have a little bit of a delay that we need to wait
of
for.
Course.
As we're kind of waiting, I'm very curious. I want you to talk to me a little bit about the keys to the game for both of these teams.
Yeah,
so let's start with Vital Point.
I was gonna start on Vital Point Esports. They've got a very interesting squad here, and they definitely have a mid-game roster. Right, MF is the most useful in the mid to late game when she's over Raptor Wall, looking into mid lane where there's a massive team fight, and she's just using her bullet time.
Yeah.
Right, or when she's around Baron Pit and there's something going on over there. Right, she's just so incredibly useful at 2 items. Until she gets to that point, though, she's got to wait for Vladimir. Vladimir has to wait for that point as well. The Kled has to wait for his first item, which is kind of just Tiamat. But he's kind of their early game rock that's going to get them from the early game to the mid game. So I think that if this Kled can actually start to pop off and really become that bruiser that we know, that's kind of their win condition. Get the Kled fed and just try and roam around with it where you can get these other members fed.
All right. Okay, I can kind of see that, especially considering Good. If you didn't agree with me, we're gonna take this outside. Kled, we're gonna. I would love to see some aggression because last game I feel like Set was just playing incredibly passive and Rumble kind of let him walk all over him. But now Kled, who was the Rumble last game, needs to kind of step it up a little bit more.
Of course.
Speaking of Set, what do we think about 100 Thieves? What is their win condition? What are they looking to kind of accomplish?
This is where you kind of have to look at yourself and be like, there's so many win conditions in this roster just because of how much scaling potential they have. Of course, Vital Point, we were already touching on that, how much scaling they have. But I feel like 100 Thieves has a lot more early game potential of scaling. Because
it's Lee Sin.
Exactly.
It's freaking Lee Sin.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You got the Lee Sin that can go into the top lane. Fiora, imagine a fed Fiora. Oh my goodness. Imagine a fed Syndra. Same thing. Imagine a fed Aphelios. It's just there's the same type of reaction no matter what lane you go into. And the fact that you're pairing up an Aphelios with a Thresh is so insane. You always underestimate what Thresh can do. Because if you have a really, really good Thresh player, you're going to be making plays left, right, and center.
Wow. These two teams, I'm having trouble kind of deciding who do I think is going to take this one, especially since we saw last game. It's not that Vital Point didn't have life in them. Yeah. They didn't just roll over and let 100 Thieves walk all over them. They had the opportunity to turn things around, but it was just a couple of misplays.
Yeah.
And, obviously this game, they're completely changing their approach. They're trying to win this series. They're trying to take it to Game 3. And you can see that by their draft. They're taking out the Set. They know that it's a bad idea. They took out the Sylas. They pinched the jungle pool a little bit. They're cognizant. They know what's happening. But 100 Thieves also knows what's happening.
Oh, yeah.
Lee Sin, pick that's, coming out for Ken V1, something that he's played in the solo queue. It's something that he's kind of really comfortable on, so they know that, they're answering each other both really, really well.
If you ban out Elise, your obvious next pick is Lee Sin, right? And, of course, the Sylas could have went through, but I feel like Lee Sin would have been a little bit better to substitute in there. And, of course, 100 Thieves, with their massive champion pool, you think of hook champions, and the first one you think of is Nautilus, right? Who's next on that list? It's going to be Thresh, right? So you got to start going down the list of champions, and if it's not broke, don't fix it, of course. We ended up having Copy in the mid lane. He stumbled a little bit, but the only problem, or the only reason why he was able to come back was because you saw Sejuani dive into her, right? Just gave a little bit of a gold lead into that. But of course, we look so incredibly good on camera. We got the suits, but the one thing we don't have is jerseys. And where can you get jerseys? Well, thank you, chat, for asking me. Sector 6 Apparel is a leading esports apparel company providing on-demand printing for groups of all sizes. Sector 6 Apparel designs comfortable and stylish for professional esports organizations and collegiate programs. I'm in that right now. As well as your very own Upsurge Esports. If you want premium esports clothing and would like to support us at the same time, head on over to Sector 6 Apparel at a very long URL, sector6apparel.com/collection/Upsurge Esports. Once again, because I have to repeat myself, it's sector6apparel.com/collection/Upsurge Esports. Check out Sector 6 Apparel today and rep Upsurge Esports or your favorite team in style today.
Wow. And that was a beautiful paragraph, orchestrated beautifully. But again, the moral of the story,
came from the brain.
If you want some jerseys, if you want some esports
Sector
apparel,
6, baby.
Sector 6 is the place that you want to be. Not 5.
No.
Not Sector 7.
No, not even 8.
Sector 6.
Sector 6.
Sector 6.
Yeah, I love
it. One thing that I want to kind of ask you, it's a little controversial to kind of think about. With both of these teams, Vital and 100 Thieves, what are both of their draft weaknesses?
Ooh. Thank you, producer, for throwing that back up for me. Because I had to remember. I think that 100 Thieves can get shut down.
Ooh.
That's a big thing.
I like that.
That's a big thing.
Okay.
You have to look over at Fiora, and if she's not fed, then she's so incredibly useless. Because if you look at a tank's going to turn into a tank at the end of the day. Fiora is a bruiser.
She's got nowhere to go.
She's got nowhere to go. If you shut down the Fiora, the lane's over. Same thing with Syndra, is that if you can catch the immobile mage in the mid lane to stop the burst potential from coming out, that's it. It's game over, right? Same thing with Aphelios, honestly, if you really think about that. But heading over to Vital Point, they've got a really mid-game level draft, right? They've got a really nice scaling draft, but they don't have a solid early game. Like, they got the Kled and they have the Gragas, but there's no meat to the bones.
Interesting. Well, that's kind of a great way to send it off. We're about to head into the game. The players are ready. The gameplay is ready. Our observer is primed and ready. And we're hopping in to the Upsurge Premier League, game number 2, with 100 Thieves winning the first one.
And they're going to be swapping sides here for this match, so you know that on both sides you have different advantages for yourself. Here in this match, 100 Thieves, they've got direct walking space into the Dragon Pit itself. As for Baron, though, they have to go over a wall, and that's something that's kind of looked over if you're playing on red side.
And it looks like a little bit of a standard fan out. Not going to be really anything that stands out too much. Gragas potentially looking to get some kind of deep vision hovering around that solo bush here in the river. But again, just a standard fan out from both teams. And last game, we saw 100 Thieves. They choked out Vital right at the edge of the river, and it kind of set the pace for the entire early game phase. But here, looks like we might be dealing with a roam.
Nice little love tap coming through as well. As you see the orb, their spear getting off. Yeah, you were talking about the roam, and you see Pumi doing exactly that. Just walking up to the Rakan. Hey, I'll meet you down there in the bot lane, and then walks away.
Yeah, so this will give them the information of where Gragas is. He's going to be starting Wolves, it looks like. Potentially, maybe. No, he's just saying hello.
No.
Just stopping by.
No. Starting
yes!
Wolves. Starting Wolves.
Wow. And this is going to screw up the timing. They have the vision. They know that he has the vision.
Yeah.
But they're screwing up the timing, so he's starting a little early. Yes, it's going to hurt. It's going to be the most brutal clear you've ever seen in your life. However, it's strategically beneficial because there might be an early game gank onto Fiora.
The only reason I can see this actually working is because they buffed the Wolf Camp so that if you do Gromp blue Wolves, you get like... In the last season, you weren't able to do that. You did your whole entire blue side jungle, which is why no one ended up starting on that side of the jungle, by the way. But now, in this season, it gives you level 2. So, 700, grab level 2, but can be... He's not overthinking it. Start blue. Go over to Gromp. It's very simple.
And you can see here that Vital is actually respecting Lee Sin incredibly well. I mean, it's also potentially the pressure of the bot lane. They are a little bit in kind of the 75 to 80% range of their HP, but they're respecting the Lee Sin gank since Gragas is so heavy in the top side.
You can see him now counter jungling, and of course, you know that Vital ended up spotting him because of their famous ward there in the river. Definitely really nice communication, as well as vision presence for themselves. However, you actually see Fiora, and this is something that really separates a really good top laner. Is that if you're able to track the enemy jungle while you've already shoved in and kind of have your lead and not really able to waste anything.
You can see Gragas is trying to answer back as fast as possible, sprinting right over to that red buff. He's got some vision to give him some information. Fiora not going to be wasting any time to try to check this out as fast as possible. Some pinks coming out onto the Raptor camp. It's not actually going to really do anything. But I think now this is the opportunity. I think Gragas has done a super good job so far of being kind of... Like, obviously Fiora went down to spot him out, but still not knowing that this gank is happening is going to be really good. Let's see the prediction. Can he predict the flash?
No,
actually, the knockup's going to connect. They're going to take Fiora down to 40 to 50% HP, but it's not going to be enough to actually take the kill, and the flash still saved.
Yeah, tenacity knowing exactly what to do there. Didn't have to flash, didn't have to repost, didn't have to do anything defensive. Just walk away and then just Q right on back, of course. You have to put down that kind of mental pressure, right? Even though you have your jungler, I still want to Q into you.
Yeah. Now, so far, while an early game design draft a little bit for 100 Thieves, still kind of slow for 4 minutes. I think at this point there was already 2 kills across the board. But so far we're seeing something a little bit more passive across the board. Lee Sin trying to find his opportunity in. He's got a couple of camps. He's level 4 now. This might be his window in. But he's looking to actually just pinch out the Gragas. But he's got the mobility to hop over the for the pit. The stun actually going to connect. Another spear going to pop on over. The jump over. The flash, actually.
Wow.
And Fiora's going to be there to say hello. The jump over. The flash from Fiora. And the Sonic Wave connects. He tries to turn it around, but it's not going to be enough damage. And now Kled's on the retreat. Can he make it out alive? There's 3 hungry 100 Thief members. The blind scout of the week. The flash comes out, and they're going to get a double kill for themselves.
You wanted kills, and you ended up getting it. The caster curse coming through, and what an amazing start and communication from 100 Thieves. Let's look at that replay, because I want to watch this. You saw the Lee Sin there didn't even care that Gragas ended up flashing over that wall, as they were just able to collapse not only on one member, but on the second one. Kled able to be taken out as well. That's so good.
Wow. Beautiful play, and it was really all in the backs of Lee Sin. Obviously, they had the vision. They saw everything happen kind of before their eyes. They saw Gragas running through. Rakan sees his opportunity here in the bot lane. He's trying to get as much damage as he can. Almost gets out. The hook not actually going to connect, and 700 kilogram Grandma picks that one up nice and clean.
What is more terrifying than a fat man in the bot lane? Running at you, fat man in the bot lane. As he
a drunk running
right.
fat man in
Exactly.
the bot lane.
He popped the Predator and said, "Come here, Thresh, I want you." And he ended up body slamming him, and he got exactly what he asked for, which was a kill. So you see 700 kilogram ended up grabbing a kill for himself, which is so nice to grab here. But he's got to turn this into something, right? Of course, Ken V, he's turning his 2 kills into an early dragon take. What can 700 do with this extra kill? That kill going on to MF would have meant that she has extra lane pressure, but this jungler has to do something with this one.
A lot of the vision coming out here. Pumi coming here to assist Kenvi. Kenvi hasn't really lost a single sliver of HP. The W coming in quite handy here to solo the dragon. And Gragas, now fully aware of what's happening, going to try to potentially make his way out to the top side. But Fiora is doing her homework.
Oh, yeah.
She's making sure that all of her assignments are handed in. She's warding up this top side. She knows that she's going to draw pressure to herself, especially with a pushed up wave.
Yeah, I already finished your assignment for your class, so you're good. But definitely, Fiora going to be roaming into the enemy jungle. I love just the vision that she has, right? Ended up using the Scryer's Bloom just to scout out what exactly was around there and didn't really find anyone. Right, so she kind of assumed that they were kind of bot side, and then now you can see the Syndra roaming into the bot side jungle. Where exactly is this Gragas? They can kind of only really assume that he is kind of back to base going towards this bot lane, but it's very simple play coming in from under.
And really, it's the vision as well. Lee Sin running all the way up to the bot lane tri-bush to clear a ward. Actually, he wasn't able to. He tried to, but he had to back away from the pressure. And you can see here that this time, the Vital Point Esports bot lane has a little bit more life in them as they're able to keep up. CS is a little bit tied, and they're really not letting Lee Sin bother them that too much. But a lot of vision here from 100 Thieves in the river, going to be able to spot out this kind of roam Gragas. And it's going to be a little rough as they're going to come up empty-handed potentially in this mid lane.
Ooh, they might want to dive this, though. They know that this wave is going to be pushing. No, it's all good.
Yeah.
What I like, though, from Lee Sin is that he kind of times how long he stays in a lane. Right? He ended up staying in that tri-bush down in the bot lane for just a little bit. It was just only, stay there for 2 seconds, channel your recall. That's an extra 6 seconds added on the board. But other than that, in the top lane, a little aggressive. You saw the grand challenge was Brock there.
I really think I think the top lane really has to be the matchup that we have to set our eyes on.
Yes.
20 CS differential already coming out here for Fiora, 20 CS ahead. Yes, that's on the backs of several different things that happened in the early game, but still having that demand. And for Kled to go Brambleback item first instead of the Tiamat, it's rough. He's going to be bleeding money in this early game.
What I thought he would go for is something like even more defensive. Right? Maybe a Bomby Cinder. Maybe I'm just unexperienced in this. But maybe like Ninja Tabbies into Tiamat would have been a little bit better for himself, just knowing his game condition. The fact that he has to be that early game presence with Gragas is going to now put him behind. Like you were saying, he's got a very defensive vitamin. You can see Kenvi right here. He's sitting on a ward. Gynax knows this.
No, it's
pinked out.
But they still saw Lee Sin do the blue buff. That's going to be the Dragon's Rage that comes out. That's going to be the call here from Kled. He's trying to make his way out. Going to be hopping off of Skarl here, and he's trying to make his way out. The flash not going to be up here, and he's going to get taken out here. But still, Kenvi taken dangerously low, but no one's there to answer it back.
He also ended up using charge there
To get out.
No, offensively.
Yeah.
He used it into the Fiora. I thought he was going to use it defensively because that's usually what you do on Kled, but apparently there in that matchup, it's like, no, I want to go aggressive. Now this opens an opportunity. Okay, it was a very small opportunity if they wanted to dive, but that's Kled's skill. But in the bot lane, we can see that little observer down there.
Yeah, you can see that they're trying to answer back the pressure. The top lane is a little bit too much for Kled, but Grag is trying to provide as much as he can for this bot lane. But if you're not actually capitalizing on it or doing damage to a turret, it may just be kind of a lost cause. Yeah. You're coming up empty-handed. Lee Sin's already starting to extend his CS lead a little bit. Not that it matters in the jungle matchup, but he is a CS lead with a kill lead as well on top of that, so it's a little rough. But we see here, Syndra's in a little bit of trouble. That's going to be the flash. The explosive cast going to connect. Vlad's afraid to commit. That's going to be some HP coming back his way. But Rakan's coming in to save the day as fast as he can. Here he comes. The quickness not going to come out. That's going to be the knock-up onto Lee Sin. Do they have enough? And he's going to be able to walk away. Nemesis King doesn't have enough damage to seal the deal. And 100 Thieves walks away scot-free with what seems to be an awkward mid-lane scuffle.
It would have been really nice if Vital Point could have gotten a kill, but they do get 2 flashes. So that's what they kind of ended up trading. Of course, you saw Nemesis and 700 both blow their own flashes. But the Rakan roam is definitely something to know, right? He can't really do anything in this ball lane. They're getting choked out, but not really also at the same time because the CS numbers are completely even down there. But still, he needs to do something. He was getting kind of antsy as support, right? Go up to the mid lane, roam, try and get a kill. He ended up getting a flash.
Yeah, and you know, especially for a support like Rakan in this situation, he's really got not much that he could do, especially since this bot lane, with what seemed to look like an aggressive, you know, matchup, just turned into kind of this passive battle. Grag is trying to stick around in the area, he's trying to provide pressure, but the top lane's crumbling, it's falling apart. He's doing what he can, but it resulted in a passive ball lane where now they're just having a CS battle. Who can out CS who?
The one thing that's really good, though, is that they're getting to the mid. They're not getting stomped as much, and I might eat my words. But they're not getting stomped as much as the first game. At this point, there was already a team fight that ended up going down. Greg is.
Whoa! That's Scout of the Week damage. Wowzers.
Scary.
Holy smokes. 2 dragons already going over to the side of 100 Thieves. It's going to be the Mountain and the Infernal Drake. Cloud Drake going to be coming up next in 5 or so minutes. The game, again, will be completely different by then, but we'll see how the tides do turn for Vital Point and 100 Thieves. It seems like Vital Point's just trying to find their way back into this. Not that they're out just yet.
Yeah.
They're still down a little bit of gold here, but they're going to find Kenvi in the jungle here. That's going to be the duo here, the support jungle duo, but Nemesis not going to be able to rotate over in time. He's still trying to make something happen out of nothing. Scatter the weekend, stun him up. That's going to be the hook as well, and he's looking to get out of there. The pool to keep him alive, the quickness coming out, but Copy is able to slam dunk it home, and the 2-kill lead here for 100 Thieves comes up quite clean for them, and they're able to now take hold of this bot side jungle.
The start of that fight, and we get to see this here in this replay, was really messy, right? We had no idea exactly who they wanted to go on to, and then finally they found Nemesis. Nemesis 1v3, and the quickness tried to save him. It just wasn't enough. Grand challenge at the top.
Oh, baby. You don't even need to talk about that one. That was, you blink and you miss it. Tenacity takes out Kled, and Skarl leaves running between his legs. Now this top lane turret's going to be free to take for 100 Thieves. And we're already starting to see Tenacity bump up online. You said before the game, if Fiora doesn't, and they're even taking the bot lane turret. This is looking dicey.
Usually when you see a tower being taken on one side of the map, the other team is immediately there, but Kenvi, a little bit of miscommunication with the bot lane to start this off.
Oh, there's potential. There's an opportunity. But here, MF is, almost caught between a rock and a hard place. Actually, could have capitalized on it.
Could have.
But playing it safe. Not safe enough, looks like to be the case. The body slam with the knock-up combo going to be enough, and the shutdown goes over to Pufu. And the game has been paused. as I catch my breath.
Yep. You got it. You got it in cases like that. But you saw there how clean that transition was. Vital Point saw what they could have done, and they capitalized on it. Give the MF 2 kills is what they needed to do. Pause is done. So we're good.
Yeah, we're back into it. Thanks for looking at our beautiful faces, but we're back into the game 14 minutes in, 3-6 with a 5K gold lead going over to 100 Thieves. Now we're going to see Vital Point try to start things. This is kind of their back against the wall, and I really appreciate the attempts. Here's going to be the ultimate coming up from Kled, and going to be the W. The riposte going to stop them, and a huge gank. All 4 members dissuaded from continuing further, and Tenacity recalls home and kisses his wife goodnight.
1v4. He has a wife? 1v4. Maybe.
Maybe.
1v4 there in the top lane he was able to escape from, and that was Vital Point's momentum, right? Get 2 kills in the mid-ish river, and then try and transition that into the top lane. Was able to do just a little bit, but nothing too crazy to hit home. Just because you have a Fiora with Hydra. She's got the shield. She's so incredibly strong that she's now coming into this match just as this sustained bot, and she was able to get out of that scenario alive. Vital Point, they shouldn't get discouraged from that, though. They got to keep looking for these opportunities.
I want you to stop for 1 second and just take a deep breath and look at the vision from 100 Thieves on this blue side. There's 300 wards. Sorry, miscalculation. 297.
Yeah.
That is a lot of vision here from 100 Thieves. Guess what? There's no objective to take.
It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. Usually Kenvi is at the objective. He's the first one there.
Yes.
Right, but he just wasn't at this Herald, right?
Still, nevertheless, they know exactly where Vital Point is at all times.
Exactly.
They've got a surveillance camera in their house all set up. I see. Yeah, wave to the camera.
I see you. That's about it, though.
Yeah. However, the only vision that Vital Point has is on the 40-second dragon that's about to come up. So, I tip my hat to you, Vital Point, for trying to at least have a quick look at some objectives. And this is going to be their opportunity to try to create a scuffle in the river, but this sweeping lens is coming out here from Fresh, and they're looking to clear things up. MF here on the other side, trying to maybe poke some of these members out, but still, Grandma's ready to dance, waiting in the wings for this dragon. 20 seconds left. Fiora's top side with TP advantage. Kled as well, actually, in the bot lane without the TP. Going to be able to answer things back very, very efficiently.
Yeah, Wind Dragon, of course, like you just said, is going to be coming up very soon. And this is the only time I've actually seen 100 Thieves prepare for more than a minute onto something, but they might get a pick here.
Oh my god. That's literally chunked out completely by 3 members of 100 Thieves. The hook was able to buy some time. Fiora split pushing Syndra in the bot lane. They've got members all over. The Predator's coming out. He's burning some calories. He's running on through, but Kled misses the bear on a trap rope thing, whatever it is. And now Kragus is just sprinting around.
He's going.
He's moving. And you can see here off in the bottom left corner as Vladimir's trying to answer the Fiora, but now the Dragon Dance has begun. It's less of a dance and more of a tango, as now the knockup coming in here from Syndra. Kled's looking to get in, but the turret's going to dissuade them, and now she's going to turn things around. So much damage. The ult comes out. Copy keeps it going. Here comes Pumi. I'm losing my voice in the process. Pofu, he's going to die here as well, and that's a double kill going over to Copy. Fiora, grand challenge in the bot lane, in the top lane, sorry. Gets the turret, gets the Vlad. Rakan's trying to, oh my, where's my voice going? But the triple kill goes over to Copy, and they're on the inhibitor, knocking it down as Aphelios is as well in the mid lane. This game is as good as gone.
100 Thieves is all over the place. Let me talk, is what I'm saying here. You had the Fiora in the top lane, get the inhibitor turret itself, but nothing else. You have Auto in the mid lane. I haven't seen an ADC look as confident ever before. No real backup for himself if he ends up getting engaged on. And then you got Lee Sin doing Lee Sin things, ends up getting that Wind Dragon. As we look at a replay of that whole entire team fight. Oh my goodness, how this started. You went crazy. Syndra ended up turning this scenario, and this is why Syndra is so incredibly good. She has the burst potential, she's got the turning potential, and she ended up grabbing a double kill for herself while the Thresh was there. Of course, a couple of more members died and more objectives were lost. About it. MF.
Lee Sin,
she got it!
Oh, just barely. And Rakan has to use the quickness to get out. That's got to feel... Wait, why did I feel like he ran really fast there? Maybe he got some kind of boost. Something happened, but now he's going to be making his way back in. Not using the quickness. It's actually going to be up very quickly. Baron going to be starting here soon in 40 seconds. Vladimir pushing that top wave. Kled answering the bottom. Rift Herald just going to spawn in the middle of the river. Going to slowly make his way down bot side. Shelly going to be making her way over. Now Tenacity here going to answer. And like you said, Fiora's online. Tenacity is able to answer every single split push. She's doing everything that she possibly can, this Fiora. Yep. But now, Vital Point stuck in the mid lane. Shelly's here to party. And Kled's not going to be able to stop this. He's not even going to be able to... Look at that. Just one and done. But here in the mid lane, Lee Sin's able to find a kill. That's going to be 2. Do I see 3? Nemesis King is on the run. He's trying to look for a turnaround. But the hook comes out from Pumi, and it's a double kill for Aphelios. Baron is spawning, but we don't care. 100 Thieves is knocking on the door.
Yeah, he wants to just... They want to knock on the door in the mid and in the bot lane, and they're able to do so. Just a very simple fight at the end of that one. As the inhibitor bot lane ends up going down, 100 Thieves Academy came into the Upsurge Premier League and said, we want to take over, and they were able to do so. 20 minutes into this match, 16-3. Pad up the KD stats, ladies and gentlemen, as 700k Grandma falling.
Wow. What an absolutely insane match here from 100 Thieves. As you're saying, they're still padding the stats. They're looking for something, but the Nexus will fall, which what that means is that this game, this match, this best of 3 is now over. 100 Thieves taking the win and me losing my voice. An absolute beauty of a match here from 100 Thieves. Thank you all so much for joining us, but wow, what a game.
It was insane throughout every single point of that match. We started in the early game where there wasn't really much action. You were talking about that, and right when you asked for it, you got it.
Yeah, literally on-demand action. Next time you want some action, give me a call.
Exactly.
But Lee Sin, really, really, really good job there in that game. Ken V1, like you predicted, going to be the matchup here, the jungle matchup. And not only did Ken V1 did good, but the Gragas 700 kilogram Grandma, really, really rough play there. Not in the right place at the right time, not able to capitalize on some of those kills. But let's have a quick look at some of the highlights here of this match that we just watched. Kind of talk us through it.
And it started off with this very first pick, right? Just the beautiful communication from the rest of 100 Thieves to group here in the river, collapse onto these 2 targets. We thought it was only 1. And this is really when the game kind of digressed, right? Or not digressed, but ended up going absolutely crazy. That's because there was not one, again, a second pick ended up going through. So, and then you got to see this one as well, right? Copy ended up turning this scenario in his benefit, had the GLP for himself and was able to turn it.
It's not that Vital Point was bad.
No.
It's just that 100 Thieves was so
really
on
good.
it today. It was so on
really
it today.
Good.
The entire team, you saw those Thresh hooks in that little bit of the highlight reel that we had for you. Beautiful play coming out from the entire 100 Thieves roster. And Papa Smithy has to be super happy about this kind of up-and-coming team that he's developed. 100 Thieves next. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is only week 1 of the Upsurge Premier League.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah, there's still tons of action that 100 Thieves is going to be bringing it to you week after week after week.
Yeah, I'm so excited to watch the evolution of this team really come into play. But I think we can all say over here at St. Clair College that this has been our pleasure, man. This is insane that we got this opportunity to really come through and present this to you guys. So I want to thank our production team. Mike doing the audio as well as hardware. We got Preston over on Spectator as well as Yeti doing kind of that secondary Spectator as well as VMix work. And, of course, to us two, man. Yeah. Thank you for joining me, my teacher, my professor, Simo, coming on the cast with us.
Obviously, also big shout-out to Upsurge as well for putting this together, for allowing us to put this together, as well as all the sponsors that we named, Kono Keyboards, Midwest Esports, and as well Sector 6 Apparel.
Oh, yeah.
But again, beautiful match here, beautiful gameplay, beautiful production team. Everything's been amazing.
Thank you.
But that's going to be it for us. We're going to wrap it up here at St. Clair College, like he said. Thank you all so much for joining us today on this fine evening for some hot League of Legends action. We will catch you guys again sometime, but until then, stay frosty.